Kerry, thanks for joining me today. It's great to have you here. And I wanted to know a little bit more about how you use ExcelWraps.
We started using ExcelWraps mainly to put our competencies on there, so it was easy to find and everybody was on there. As we sort of went along and started using that, I started wondering what else Wraps could be used for from my side of it. So I'm under the understanding that when Wraps was first sort of brought out, it's for the engineering side in the railway. Now that isn't something I deal with myself. I deal with all the background business side of it. And it was only because I was having problems with the PO once and trying to find it, and it was just, and I thought, oh, there must be PO systems out there. I started looking and I thought, actually, I'm pretty sure Wraps could do this. So when I spoke to Andy Armstrong, he said, yes, definitely. So it kind of rolled from there. And we've got all the PO system on there, which is absolutely fantastic. It is so easy to use, and so it just goes straight on there, and I see the information straight away. And then we have to do risks alerts, and we have to get the guys to sign them. Now when we first started doing it, we would do it on paper form, but it was getting hard because guys are on different sites. It doesn't get done. And then we started using, well, just email me to confirm you've read it. Again, it's a push, keep chasing emails. We now put that on Wraps, so the guys can sign in, see the ones that need signing, read it, sign it. I can see it's been signed, and then I can sign it off. So that is, it saves time, a lot of time, and it's easy to see straight away who's done it and who hasn't. I haven't got to troll through emails or files to try and find who has and hasn't done what. We're also now going to be putting our management system on there, all our documentation system. And again, it's going to make things a hell of a lot easier because it's one place to find it all. And it's so we'll be able to, say with the ISO, you need to have a sort of documentation of every single number and where you are at with them. That'll automatically happen with Wraps because we put them on there. When we go onto the home screen, we'll be able to see straight away every number, every document, and it will make things a hell of a lot easier. Also, when we bring new staff in and we have to show them these, rather than going through files or showing them the paper documents, we can say, right, log on to Wraps, read through them all, sign at the bottom to confirm you've read them. And it just makes life so much easier. And the amount it can do on Wraps surprised me, because I can literally do what I want on there. I don't myself sort their spreadsheets out. We sort of ask Andy Armstrong who's very quickly at saying, yes, we can do this. This is how it will work. But it is a fantastic system, and it can do exactly what you want. Because when I was looking at the PO systems, a lot of it has stuff I didn't want. So we'd be paying for an off-the-shelf system for half the stuff I wouldn't even use. Whereas now I have it exactly how I want it because I'm the one dealing with it. It is, I love it. I really do. I didn't realize it could do so much stuff.
One of the other key things that looking at in terms of using ExcelWraps is obviously competencies. How do you use competencies with ExcelWraps?
So our competency system is set up in a way where all the guys will use it themselves, and they will, first of all, we have different sections. So we have like the normal sort of training accreditation section, and we can add the media as well. So we can add the certificates on there. And then we use something we call a work experience record. So what they'll do is every time they finish a job, they will go onto Wraps, they will type in that they're doing a work experience record, they'll put in the customer, the type of vehicle, the location, and then describe what they've done to do that job. So then if we wanted to go back and say, right, who worked on the whatever class it was, we could type that in and then find out who worked on it and what they know how to do. It will also help the guys themselves to have the information ready to go for their ENG checks or the INGs as well, because it's all there in that system. And it is very, very easy to navigate if we ever needed to find anything out, or who worked on what qualifications people have got, because it's an easy search system and it will just come up their names and who's got what. It is, yeah, it's very, very easy to use and straightforward, and you get the information that you need. You're not trailing through files, you can, oh God, who worked on this one? And it is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Kerry, what kind of support do you get from ExcelWraps?
We deal with Andy Armstrong a lot, because he's actually producing our Wraps for us, and he is very, very quick at getting back to me. I will go to Andy and ask him sort of what I want. Can I have this? And he will say yes or no, or we might have to tweak it slightly so it works. But he comes back, he's very informative. They also have like a stage site where they will show you your practice one before you make it go live. I haven't had any problems with Wraps as a system at all. And they're very quick at getting back to you. And like I said, they will tell us exactly what we can have, but generally it's exactly what I want anyway. It's only a minor tweak where we might have to sign it there and not exactly where I wanted it, but it will be exactly, it's brilliant because I can literally say I want to put this there, and Andy will go, yep, that's absolutely fine, and they will put it together, show me the stage wrap. Once I say yes, I'm happy with it, it then goes live.
For you in your role, what are some of the business benefits of using ExcelWraps?
The business benefits of ExcelWraps is, one, as I said before, time saving. Two, there's no grey areas. If you haven't signed it, you haven't signed it. It means you haven't read it. So there is no grey areas, and there's always a paper trail. We know exactly who's done what, where they've done it. Like with the risk, the risk alerts are quite important. We have to show them to all of our guys, and they have to have read and acknowledged them. And it's just that they sign it. I know they've read it. They had to have read it to have signed it. And it's easy to keep track of who's doing what. Otherwise, sometimes things can get lost in the system. We all know it happens and we kind of forget. Whereas I can go straight on and say, right, well, 5 things need signing because I haven't been able to sign them off. We also use it as a supplier contracts. So all of our suppliers are on there now. So there'll be the information that we need to collate from our suppliers to put them on our supplier list. And again, if I haven't signed it off, it means they haven't sent me something. It could just be simple as their insurance certificate. But if I haven't signed it off, they haven't sent it. So I can't forget about that, because every time I go on there, it will say not complete. Whereas sometimes if you're doing it through emails and you're putting it on a different sort of in a file, you may forget later on down the line that you didn't actually get all their information. Whereas on Wraps, there is none of that, because I can see the minute I click onto Wraps, who's completing and who isn't. So it stops anything like that happening. And you always you can't go wrong really. Because if I didn't see it on there, if it wasn't signed, then I've got to get the information still.